people in there. Everyone was usually really nice. And we thought it was a decent place to go, but whatever. They don't, your money isn't good enough for them, I guess. And here's why. This is their reasoning. I hope y'all can hear me okay. This is a diesel. It's a loud truck. Nothing I can do about that. I tried to get where there was less traffic so I could focus a little more. Anyway, the reasoning is, I don't know if you remember, about a month ago, the last auction, we had shared a video of a bunch of horses in a pen, and there were these little ponies getting like crushed and bit and whatever. Well, they didn't like that, and they had called, was it that night or the night after, I can't remember, and they weren't happy about it. They wanted to know who was in the video, because apparently in the background there was somebody with a flag moving these horses around. I didn't notice the flag, but when I watched it again after that, sure enough, there's a flag back there, but you could not see the person. They stated that the two people on the pens on the side were not employees, and they said what they wanted to know was who was the one in the back of the flag. They wanted to know if it was an employee of theirs, because certainly they would never allow their employees to do anything like that with the horses. I told them I didn't know. I was not personally there. I was not there. And they asked me to talk to the girls that were there to find out if they knew. I asked them. The one actually thought that the person in the flag was an employee of theirs and an employee being trained in, as a matter of fact. If that's how they train in their employees, I don't know. We don't know any of that for a fact, just that was the impression that they got. Regardless, they asked me to remove the video, and I did. So fast forward, we're on our way down this morning for the auction today, and apparently they saw the couple posts that we had done trying to raise funds, and they decided, since there were photos of their facility, because I guess you could see like part of the barn in the background, that was it. They were done. We were no longer allowed. They have a zero tolerance policy for that. Even though we've been doing it for years, dozens of people, if not more, are sharing pictures and video from there. So, I'm not going to argue with them too much. It's their property. They can decide who gets to go there or not. I tried to explain that, you know, how is it right that I'm being held responsible for a video someone else took? I took the video down when they asked me to, and their reasoning there was, since I'm the manager, basically, of Ponytails, I'm ultimately responsible for what people associate with Ponytails do. Fair enough. I can take blame for that, but I never even got the opportunity to talk to anyone about it. And if that's the case, you know, you're the owner of the sales barn, and this was allegedly an employee of yours shooing these horses around with the flag in that pen. Are you not ultimately responsible for that? You know, I mean, it goes both ways. But I took the video down. The funny thing is I've seen way worse things happen at that barn. We actually have video of way worse things that we haven't shared, primarily because you can see people in it, and we don't want, you know, we can get in a lot of trouble for that. But, you know, I'm not gonna share those. I know what goes on behind closed doors. There's a reason Animals Angels has done private investigations on that place, and they found some pretty horrifying things. And I get it, you know, you don't want people taking picture or video on your premises, but I guess that just makes someone wonder, what are you trying to hide? Like I said, I've seen way worse at that barn, at other barns. It's not just them. There's a reason people should not be sending their horses to auctions, especially if you're not going to be there to represent them and keep them from going through something like that. If you're there to represent them, you can stand by them, you can control them, or you can control what happens to them, I should say. You just out of their barn and their facility, but the fact is it happens. So maybe the auctions need to take a little closer look at themselves and how they manage their facility. You know, he's coming down on me for how I manage my staff. Well, maybe someone needs to come down on them, because like I said, I've seen way worse, and it's not cool. So like I said, we are officially kicked out of that sales barn. It's no skin off my back, whatever. Like I said, there are plenty of other auction houses out there. I do have another idea in mind, but we're definitely still going to continue to do auction rescue as long as we are able. But yeah, I mean, I guess your guys' money isn't good enough there. They're perfectly happy to see the horses, all of them, I'm sure, as far as they care, get bought by the traders and the flippers and the kill buyers and shipped to slaughter. They're probably pro-slaughter. And whatever, you do you, but you treat us like the bad guy because we expose what actually happens there. And like I said, that's not even the worst of it. I mean, horses go there friendly, loving people, and they come out of there terrified, acting like they're feral. We've got several of them back at the shelter right now. But this is what the auctions do to them. It's ridiculous that they try to stand on this moral high ground of some sort that, oh, you need to be responsible for what people under you do. Yeah, okay, well, sorry about my hair, guys. I've had my window down most of the time. I don't like AC very much. You know, the fact is that the horses are nothing but money to them. Here's an example. Corona, not the last auction, the one before. She was a blind perch run. I had seen her earlier on when I first got there, and they were unloading horses, moving around, sorting them into pens and stuff. And as she went by, you know, I noticed her feet actually didn't look terrible, but I also noticed she likely had no vision in the one eye, the one side I saw her. When she finally came through the ring, it was near the end, she came in loose, chased in there like they all are when they're loose, and she ran in and ran head first. They have these barricades that the guys in the ring stand behind just for safety reasons, and she ran into that head first, turned around, and when the guy went to touch her butt with the stick to get her to move, he scared the living crap out of her, and she kicked back so hard against that barricade it like shook the entire room. It was really loud because it's metal. But so the guy, the auctioneer at the time, I don't remember who it was, I think it was possibly the owner, it doesn't matter who it was, but he had been starting the bid like he typically does for drafts at like $2,000, and he was slowly starting to come down, and then that happened. He dropped right down. He said $200. He looked at me, I nodded my head, that was it. Like, but had that not happened, it probably would have taken him a lot longer to bring the starting bid down, just because they're just trying to make money. And this poor horse is terrified, like blind, and she's at the shelter now. She's doing great. Oh my god! And she turned into this beautiful blue roan. Like, I remember when Kristen looked at her, we thought she was going to be older because you could see like pieces of gray in her mane and even in her hair a little bit, because she's still in her winter coat. And she shut out, and she was like beautiful blue roan. Anyway, so my point is, I guess, that, you know, I'm not saying all auctions are bad. There are people that take their horses to auction and they sell them for a lot of money. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. Often not all at the auctions we attend, for the most part, is a lot of Amish, Mennonite type people there, and a lot of them are the ones training these horses and then reselling them. And when they're young and they're completely sound and they're healthy and they don't have any issues, or they have some papers that make them great for breeding, they pay a lot of money for them. They put a lot of money into them. I mean, this is equipment. This is their vehicle. This is their plow. This is their tractor. But they start getting broken down and they end up back at the auction just run through loose. I mean, they devoted their whole life, worked so hard for years, and then they're not at 100% anymore, and then they become garbage. We go there to try to give them a second chance and try to give them a second chance at life and a new job, and we get banned because some people saw what actually happens there. You know, are you going to ban everyone that witnesses this in person? I don't know. Alright, so after that tangent, whatever, moral of the story, we were kicked out of the Kelowna Sales Barn. We will no longer be attending any auctions in Kelowna. Anybody want to go in our stead, please feel free. There's always going to be horses there in need. Don't expect to go there and get as many as we try to. We have the staff, we have the facilities set up for larger intakes like that. But if you can go and even just get one or two at a time, they're going to be there. This isn't going to stop. And that type of activity is going to continue to happen whether we're there or not. With any luck, somebody else records it. I don't know, maybe find a way to, I don't know. As far as the funds that you guys have already donated, we do have, there's, like I said, there's other auctions. There's another one this week. We'll have to do a little scheduling, see if it's going to work, because obviously we were planning the auction for today. Not a big deal. I'm sad for the horses. It looked like there were going to be a lot of them there today, but there's nothing we can do. They don't want us there, so we're not going to be there. I'm not going to make a big stink about it. Just, I'd like y'all to be aware of what happened. These are the kinds of places that we deal with when we're just simply trying to help some horses. And yeah, so we'll get back to you as soon as we get something laid out for sure on what we're going to do for the rest of this week. We do still have a lot of the surrenders coming. 6 of them are kind of put on the back burner for now, which is one reason we decided to go ahead and attend the auction, because things like that happen. We are still expecting them to come. It's just been pushed back when they'll actually arrive. So that's still happening. There is another auction right around the corner, and we will keep you posted. In the meantime, you know, I certainly would recommend anyone attend the Kelowna sales anymore, but there are horses always there that need help, and if you're in the area and you're able to, please do so. Even if you want to go there, get them and send them to us. It's a possibility too. Anyway, I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm still driving. I got to get this window open. The AC is making me fall asleep. So yeah, I'm really sorry. We'll be fine. Lots of options out there for us. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.